deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Craig Stammen's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
Bowen launches one in the air to left field and deep. Ramos is back. He's at the wall looking up. This one gonna go! Jace Bowen's first major league home run. Western medal. And the Padres add on. It's 4-0.
Ask and you shall receive. Padres looking for more runs. Jace Bowen provided. First big league homer. Padres lead 4-0.
Jace Bowen provides a memorable swing as the Padres shut out the San Francisco Giants on this Friday evening by a final score of 7-0. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. As we begin our post-game coverage, the Padres allow no runs on 2 hits in this game. They score 7 on 12 hits. The Padres improve back to 2 games above 500 at 56-54. A lot to smile about from this game, including a super memorable moment for Jace Bowen, his first major league home run, one of 2 hits that Jace had in this game. I caught up with Jace Bowen on the field moments ago.
Jace, your first major league home run, a moment that every little kid dreams about. How would you describe your emotions in that moment?
Just so excited. It's the second best moment of my life for sure, and just to have it happen at home and have all these guys cheering for me, it was the best.
You spent a long time in the minor leagues working to get this kind of opportunity to contribute tonight the way you did. How would you describe what that means to you?
It's something you dream of. I'm so thankful for my wife and my family as a support staff, and they never let me give up. And they just said, hey, just continue to show up and trust in God's plan. And I'm so thankful that God has me here.
The offense was really impressive tonight. The pitching was equally as impressive. You've seen how this pitching staff is sort of stitching it together right now on most nights. Your thoughts on what the pitching staff did tonight?
They've been incredible. They've been really grinding, and shout out to Ruben and Craig for having, just being ready. And to see some guys starting and some guys relieving, and you never know what you're going to get out of us now. And it's awesome because they've been dominant, and they look really good, and I'm super pumped for them.
Jace, this team has won 6 out of their last 7 games. To you, what is this group doing well collectively right now?
I think we're playing together. The vibes are really good in the locker room, and we're working hard. And we want to be the last team standing in October, November, and that's our goal. And we're going to continue to push for it every day.
Jace, congratulations on an amazing moment. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Jace Bowen right after tonight's 7-0 win. Jace Bowen, his first major league home run. The Padres offense was cooking from the get-go. 2 runs in the first inning, 1 in the third, 3 in the fourth inning, 1 in the 6th inning. But I got to be honest with you, I think the offense was the secondary story in this game. Padres pitching combining to shut out the Giants. No runs on 2 hits. Bradley Rodriguez, a scoreless first inning as the opener. Yuki Matsui, my goodness, what a tremendous effort tonight from Yuki. 3 scoreless innings, and then German Marquez going 5 scoreless innings in relief. A marvelous job by all 3 pitchers here today, Rodriguez, Matsui, and Marquez. The Padres bullpenning, pitching chaos, whatever you want to call it. They were just fantastic here tonight, and the offense certainly did their part as well. When we come back, we've got all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Craig Stammen coming up a little bit later as well. Final score again as the Padres even up this 4-game series at a game apiece. The Padres 7 and the Giants nothing on the Padres Radio Network. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Padres win it here tonight by a final score of 7-0 as they even up this 4-game series at a game apiece. Still a lot to do on our post-game coverage. We'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen coming up in a little bit. We have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard coming your way in just a little bit as well. As always, our post-game coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey player, need a little me time? Jamul Spa was just named one of the top 100 spas in America. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Well, the Padres went with an opener tonight. Bradley Rodriguez started the game. He struck out 2 in a scoreless first inning. Padres then got right to work against lefty Carson Whisenhunt. In the bottom half of the inning, Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a leadoff double. Luis Rengifo singled to send Tatis to third base. Manny Machado was next.
First and third, nobody out. 3-0 the pitch. Manny swings, hits a laser to left field. Ramos comes in, makes the catch. Fernando tagging on his way. Throw to the plate, no chance to get him. He scores standing up. It's a sacrifice fly, another hard hit ball, and a 1-0 Padre lead.
So a 1-0 Padre lead early. Padres, though, weren't done in the first inning. Later in the inning, 2 runners on for Luis Campusano.
And Campusano strokes it out to left center field. That's going to get down and a base hit. Rengifo rounding third. He'll score easily. France on his way to third. An RBI single for Campusano. And a Padre lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the first.
So 2 runs in the first inning for San Diego, a 2-0 lead after 1. Yuki Matsui pitched the scoreless second. He pitched the scoreless third. In the bottom half of the third, the Padres had runners on first and third with 1 out. Xander Bogaerts at the plate. Xander hit a ground ball to first. Devers hit the bag at first base, then threw to second for a tag play. It was a double play, but once Devers hit the bag, the force was removed and it became a timing play. So Jackson Merrill scored from third before the tag was applied. The run did count. Umpires did a really nice job in that spot. Padres led 3-0. So a double play, but the run did score. Yuki Matsui pitched the scoreless 4th inning. He was tremendous in this game. 3 scoreless innings of relief. Padres offense kept it rolling in the bottom half of the inning. Jace Bowen had a memorable swing.
Bowen launches one in the air to left field and deep. Ramos is back. He's at the wall looking up. This one gonna go! Jace Bowen's first major league home run. Western Metal. And the Padres add on. It's 4-0.
Ask and you shall receive. Padres looking for more runs. Jace Bowen providing. First big league homer. Padres lead 4-0.
Padres weren't done in that 4th inning. 2 walks put Fernando Tatis Jr. and Luis Rengifo on base. That was it for Whisenhunt. Adrian Hauser came in for the Giants. Tatis and Rengifo stole second and third. That put 2 in scoring position for Ty France.
3-1 the pitch. And France swings, lines it into center field. McCray over, not going to get there. It drops down. Both runs will score. Tatis and Rengifo check in. A 2-run single for Ty France and a 6-0 Padre lead in the 4th.
So the Padres offense continuing to produce. German Marquez took over on the mound at the top of the 5th inning. He got off to a good start, 2 scoreless innings to begin his outing. Padres then scored again against Hauser in the 6th inning. A walk for Rengifo. Manny Machado doubled. Ty France drove in another run on a sacrifice fly. It was 7-0 San Diego. From that point on, the rest of the story was about German Marquez. He was great in relief. Everybody on the mound today for the Padres was terrific. Marquez going 5 scoreless innings, 1 hit given up. He walked 1, struck out 2 to close out the game. And what a performance by German Marquez to close this one out. Marquez, in fact, picking up his first save of the season. I've got to go look and see. Honestly, if Marquez has ever had a save in the major leagues, I'll get to that after our break. I've not had time to dive into that yet, but Marquez picks up the save. Matsui picks up the win. He improves to 2-1. Whisenhunt takes the loss. He's now 2-2. And the Padres improve to 56-54 on the year. Giants drop to 47-63. The final totals here tonight for the Padres: 7 runs on 12 hits, no errors. And for the Giants, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. A 2-hit shutout for the Padres here tonight. Bradley Rodriguez, Yuki Matsui, and German Marquez combining to shut out the San Francisco Giants in what was a really nice game for the Padres on a number of different levels. Number one, again, the pitching terrific on a day where the Padres were using their bullpen method, their pitching chaos, their stitching of the pitching staff and of a ball game, however you want to put it. It worked to perfection here tonight. A combined 2-hit shutout, and the offense, after a couple of quiet days in a row, they showed up in a major way in this game, scoring 7 runs on 12 hits. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. Much more to do on our post-game coverage. We continue from Petco Park after this on the Padres Radio Network. Friday night here in downtown San Diego, a victorious Friday night at that. Padres beat the San Francisco Giants here tonight by a final score of 7-0. As we welcome you back into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show here on the Padres Radio Network, a combined 2-hit shutout between Bradley Rodriguez, Yuki Matsui, and German Marquez, who did a terrific job as a pitching staff here tonight as a trio here here tonight, and the Padres offense also absolutely terrific in this game, pounding out 7 runs on 12 hits as the Padres even up this 4-game series at a game apiece. We'll go downstairs here from Craig Stammen in just a moment. From the offensive standpoint, I mean, let's go through it here one by one. Everybody aside from Jackson Merrill had a hit in the Padres lineup today. So 8 out of the 9 guys. Fernando Tatis Jr. had a double and 2 runs scored. Luis Rengifo had a single and 3 runs scored and 2 walks. And by the way, Fernando had 2 walks as well. Manny Machado, a double and an RBI in this game. Ty France, another incredibly productive night. 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Luis Campusano had 3 hits and an RBI in this game. Xander Bogaerts a base hit. Freddie Fermin a base hit. And then you had Mr. Jace Bowen, his first major league home run, one of 2 hits that Bowen had in this game. And I should mention that Jackson Merrill did have a run scored, so did have a little bit of production there in the run scored department. But again, for as good as the Padres offense was here tonight, and they really did the job you hoped they would do against Carson Whisenhunt, this young left-hander on the mound today for San Francisco, to me it's the secondary story. For the Padres pitching to do what they did tonight was just remarkably impressive, and we'll get deeper into it. Bradley Rodriguez, this is the 4th time this season he's opened a game and threw a scoreless inning to open the game. I mean, it's not easy what they're asking this young right-hander to do on those days, and he's getting it done with regularity. Yuki Matsui. Not only is this guy having a really, really, really good year, he's got a 2.38 ERA after tonight. Yuki was asked to go get 3 innings today. That is a place he has never gone before in the major leagues. I mean, that was awesome by Yuki Matsui tonight. And then German Marquez, with the Padres already leading by quite a bit, comes in and puts up 5 scoreless innings and makes sure that you don't have to burn any more of your bullpen in this game. I can't say enough about how good the pitching was tonight and what a nice win this was. Again, Padres had a couple of really quiet offensive games. In fact, we talked about it with Tony in the pregame today. You were, well, I don't want to say you were concerned. I thought tonight was going to be a really interesting test for the Padres offense for this reason. They only scored 3 runs on Wednesday. They won the game. They only scored 3 runs, or I should say they only scored 1 run, pardon me, last night against Robbie Ray and the Giant bullpen. So you're looking at, 2 pretty quiet offensive games for the Padres. And had they not been able to handle this left-hander Whisenhunt tonight, and let's say they had another quiet offensive game, I'll be honest, I would have been sitting here kind of wondering, is this offense, kind of starting to go through it now and reverting back to the offense we saw earlier in the season for the first 2+ months? Now, that would have been an unfair thing for me to do, but it would have crept in to my brain. It would have, and we have seen the Padres in the past, this season included, struggle against guys like Whisenhunt, struggle against pitchers, young pitchers they've never seen before. But I'll tell you what, couldn't have been more opposite tonight. They were on Whisenhunt from the start. They added on after that. They made a young pitcher pay, and that's what a good offense does. They make a young pitcher pay. And then on top of that, for this pitching strategy to work as beautifully as it did tonight, this was a nice win. Really, really encouraging. And now, from the pitching standpoint, you're set up well. Going into the final 2 games of this series, you really are. You've got Buehler tomorrow. You've got King on Sunday. You're going to have what's essentially a fresh bullpen outside of Rodriguez and Matsui, who both pitched tonight. You're not going to have Matsui tomorrow, I would assume, because he threw 3 innings tonight. But you're going to have most of your bullpen and your high leverage guys available for the next 2 days before the trade deadline. So this was a nice win in a number of respects. It really, really was. And I think you got to be really happy about where the Padres are heading into the final 2 games of this series. With all that in mind, let's go downstairs and hear from Padre manager Craig Stammen.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
About how close to as good as you could have imagined did that go tonight?
Yeah, that worked out real well. Yeah, I think, the one where we got a little nervous was pushing Yuki to that third inning and the pitch count kind of rising with all the foul balls and stuff. But he got it out and, pitched great.
I imagine that was not in the plan. And so how did that plan evolve, that you would have him go 3? And
yeah, we had a pitch count number in our heads, and it just got into that inning where he was pitching well, but the pitch count number, he exceeded that pitch count number. And so that was the last batter that he faced was going to be his last batter. And, the hard question was, can we bring Herman in the middle of an inning with somebody on base, or do we want him, to get a clean inning? Ideally, it would be a clean inning. So we're kind of sweating it out that, hoping Yuki could get out of that inning without anybody on base. But, Yuki did an outstanding job tonight. That was, him and Herman, players of the game.
the fact that, and I know that you have this deep bullpen, you've always expressed your belief in however many, 13 of them, but Yuki, higher leverage, Yuki, longer outings, like the difference in him this year and what that's done for you.
Yeah, you're right. He's been, maybe the MVP, the unsung hero of our bullpen, being able to fit so many different roles. I think, I remember when he was hurt, we're coming up, we thought he was going to have to be lengthened out to give us 2, maybe 3 innings, and then came up, did a couple 2-inning stints, and then we had to put him in leverage when, Jeremiah and Jason kind of went down. He did that admirably, and then now we're kind of back. He's kind of in that leverage role, but early in the game kind of thing, where he's facing the big lefties, but just a little earlier in the game.
Chase Bowen had a nice night. What did you think of?
Yeah, also you could put him up for MVP. A lot of MVP candidates tonight for this game. It was just nice to see Jace get his first home run, starting to play baseball like what we saw in spring training. He's a little bit more relaxed, feels like he fits in, doesn't seem like he feels he has to get a hit every single time he's at the plate, and he's just taking better swings and better at-bats, and credit to him for all the work he's put in over this time that he's been here, and the hitting coaches for continuing to work on him and refine him and develop him here while he's been in the big leagues.
Your lineups have been a little more settled, and your big guys are hitting. Does it feel like this offense is kind of like the guys have settled into what their roles are and what their places are?
Yeah, for me it does a little bit, and that could change in a 3 or 4 game stretch where nobody's hitting, and you just never know when that might happen. The good thing is we've moved the lineup around throughout the year that if we do that, it's not going to be uncommon. But I think right now the way the guys are set up in the lineup, I really like, the at-bats that they're taking behind each other. Feels like they're hitting with each other, not just individually, which is a good thing. And, Crony and Rengifo, switching on and off in that 2-hole has been really good for our team.
Obviously, things could change in the next few days. You could add a starting pitcher or what have you. But, like, what Vasquez did last night, what Marquez did tonight, like, how could that end up evolving to, you getting back to more normal rotation?
Yeah, tonight we basically reversed the game, which is kind of an interesting concept, but you can't plan it out. We don't know we're going to score 7 runs in the first, 5-6 innings. So, we just got to go it day by day and figure it out. But those 2 guys giving us a lot of length these last 2 days sets our bullpen up, for Walker tomorrow and King the next day, and then whoever we decide to start on the first day in Arizona.
How much, obviously he didn't allow any runs, but how much, like, in the 5th inning are you going, all right, it would really help us to score a lot of runs to be able to lengthen?
I'm thinking that every game, but, especially, to give Herman, the ability to finish the game or to go a little bit longer in that game and save, 1 or 2 bullpen arms, and tonight he saved them all. But any increase to the lead was going to give him more leash to finish the game. And, it ended up he was cruising too. He pitched a great game, bunch of ground balls, and threw a bunch of strikes, did exactly what he needed to do coming out of the pen and coming in the 5th inning.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following his 7-0 win for the Padres here tonight against the San Francisco Giants. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. As always, our post-game coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. Let's give you a few different nuggets from this game from a pitching standpoint. You heard me say a little bit earlier, I wanted to confirm it before I told you this, and it in fact was, and no surprise because this guy's been a starting pitcher his whole career for so long with the Rockies, but first career save for German Marquez, who was just spectacular in this game. Yuki was spectacular too, and we're going to talk more about the pitching here and really what those 2 guys did, and I think the bigger impact of it in a second, but let's just give you some nuggets here. First career save for Marquez. How about this? Only the second 5-inning save in Padre history and the first 5-inning save in team history since 1969. 1969, when Tommy Sisk, on October 1st, 1969, in San Francisco, went 5 innings for a save. How about that? How about that? German Marquez becomes the first pitcher again since Tommy Sisk in October of 69 to put together a 5-inning save. So this really was a historic relief performance here today. Wow, that's really something there. Second time this season the Padres have thrown a 2-hit shutout. Let's see here. What other nuggets can I give you? 8th shutout of the season by Padres pitching. Second 3-hit game for Luis Campusano. He had a really, really nice game here tonight. Look, again, like I said earlier, this was a really nice night. I love this game. Really. I mean, from what the pitching staff did to what the offense did on a night where I think you came in, again, like I said earlier, you came in, I think, a little concerned. Again, you know what? Let me take it back. Not concerned about the offense, but close to concerned about the offense. I'll put it that way. Close to concerned about the offense had they put together a quiet night in this one. So this was great here tonight. It really, really was. And quite the effort by the Padres pitching staff as they put together a 2-hit shutout. When we return, we'll get into our daily awards. We'll dive in even deeper to what Yuki did, to what Marquez did. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973. The phone number to dial, again, 833-288-0973. The phone number to call if you want to get involved. Would love to hear from you here tonight. It was a fun, energetic night here at Petco Park. Another sold-out crowd, more than 44,000 in the building, and they saw a good one here tonight as the Padres beat the Giants 7-0. Our post-game coverage continues after this on the Padres Radio Network. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Padres win it here tonight by a final score of 7-0. The Padres even up this series at a game apiece as we continue our postgame coverage live here from Petco Park on the Padres Radio Network. Great to have you with us on this Friday evening. Let's tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Here's the 1-0. Adames swings, hits it hard on one hop out to Bogarts at short. He's got it, and the throw to first is in time. A really nice 1-2-3, top of the second inning for Yuki Matsui after 1.5. Padres 2, Giants nothing.
Yuki Matsui, our relief pitcher of the game here tonight. Now, this was an incredibly tough decision here tonight. It really, really was. And I'll tell you why. Let's actually begin with the German Marquez part of this. Marquez goes 5 scoreless innings out of the bullpen, 1 hit. He ends up throwing 70 pitches, walks 1, strikes out 2. And like we said earlier, German putting together his first career save and also only the second 5-inning save in Padre history, the first guy to do it since Tommy Sisk back on October 1st of 1969, ironically in San Francisco. This one was against San Francisco here in San Diego. That was incredible. German was incredible here tonight. But here's why I'm going to shy away from giving German relief pitcher of the game. Yes, it came in relief, but German Marquez, he goes 5 innings all the time. He's been a starting pitcher forever. German going 5 innings, impressive, not otherworldly for German. Let me make the case for Yuki. Yuki set tonight a career high in innings pitched with 3 and a career high in pitches in an outing at 49. And by the way, that was 11 more than he had ever thrown in his major league career. So he had a career high in innings pitched with 3 and nearly 50 pitches. Yuki Matsui was tremendous in this game. He has been, I think, an unsung hero of this bullpen. 3 scoreless innings. He went the extra mile tonight. I mean, he went to a place he has never gone before in his major league career. For that reason, Yuki Matsui, our relief pitcher of the game. He was tremendous. So for him, to go to that extent tonight, he gets it over German. But German was great as well. And by the way, Bradley Rodriguez, a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of Ks to begin the game. Not too shabby either. You want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, 833-288-0973. The phone number to dial if you want to get involved. Would love to hear from you on this Friday evening. Let's tell you about the Padres' heart of the order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order. Presented by Palomar Health Medical Group.
Heart of the order here tonight, 3-4-5 hitters for the Padres. Manny Machado, Ty France, Jackson Merrill. Manny had a double RBI in this game. Ty France, really nice game. 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and a walk. And Jackson Merrill did take an 0 for 4, but did score a run here tonight. So pretty productive night for the heart of the order. 3-4-5 spots. Jackson, unfortunately, the only guy out of the Padres lineup tonight to not record a base hit, but the other 8 hitters in the Padres starting 9 tonight did have a base hit. So good to see there. And a very good night collectively for the Padres offense as they pound out 7 runs on 12 hits. Again, phone number to call, 833-288-0973. Let's go to the phones here. Kick things off here tonight with Thomas calling in. Thomas, you're on the Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show on this Friday. Welcome in. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Sammy? Can you hear me?
Hey, yep, Thomas got you loud and clear.
Sure. Okay, can you hear me better?
Thomas, I got you loud and clear. You're on the radio.
Hey, Sammy. Congratulations to Chase Bowen. first career home run. I mean, it's awesome. I just want to piggyback off Yuki Matsui. I mean, a couple seasons ago, every time he came, I was nervous every time he came in. I was, oh my God, Yuki. But Yuki's really matured. I mean, he's doing it.
Yeah.
There was a game a couple of weeks ago, was it, where it was like no outs and bases loaded. Was it 1 hour, no outs, bases loaded, and he got out of that too. I'm like, wow, okay. Matsui's impressing me. Impressing all of us. So, hopefully continue that. And
Thomas.
He's going to do good things.
Yeah, appreciate the phone call, Thomas. Yeah, totally. Yuki has had a really good year. And Wandy Peralta. Both those guys have been really good. Yuki's got a 2.38 ERA. Keeps pitching the way he's pitching. He could lower his ERA to around 2 by the end of the year. Yuki has been really good. Really, really good. And I think it's a good example of don't give up on guys. Yuki's very talented, had a tremendous career in Japan. Maybe it took him a little while to acclimate and, figure out how to get major league hitters out consistently, because he's doing that right now. He has been a big part of this bullpen, as has Wandy Peralta, and especially at a time and in a season where you've had injuries to your bullpen. Yuki has been relied upon in more high-leverage spots this year than he ever has in the past, and that's been out of necessity because you're without Jeremiah Estrada for nearly 2 months. You're without Jason Adam right now. You have needed guys like Matsui and Peralta to step forward, and for the most part, those guys have done that. So Yuki, to do what he did tonight and overall this season, this has been a great year for Yuki. Really has, and really impressive showing here tonight, no doubt about it. All right, phone number to call, 833-288-0973. If you want to get involved, 833-288-0973. When we come back, we'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game. If you missed my post-game conversation with Jace Bowen, we'll replay that for you as well. Again, the Padres win it here tonight by a final score of 7-0 as they even up this 4-game series against San Francisco. Our post-game coverage continues after this. Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building on this late Friday night as we continue to wrap this one up. Padres get a really nice win, final score of 7-0 against the San Francisco Giants. We will get to the out-of-town scoreboard here in a moment. Our play of the game, replay my postgame conversation with Jace Bowen as well. But first, let's go to the phones again. Couple of phone calls here to get to before we head out for the evening and get to our other segments. Let's go to David calling in. David, you're on the Padres Radio Network. David, what's up? Hit me. What you got?
Hey, thanks so much. It was a totally awesome win tonight. We're just on our way home. But I'm worried, as we're hitting the trade deadline, how are we actually going to be buyers, given that our number 2 and 4 hitters are new players that we've just brought on? You have our long-term contracts like Manny and Bogey and Crone that aren't really, performing like they should be doing. What is the future for this team if we're only, if 2 and 4 are new players and not really our stars?
Well, David, appreciate the phone call. I'm not totally sure. I mean, I guess I understand what you're saying. I guess what you're saying, maybe I should have kept you on to ask you in particular. I'm not totally sure the correlation of the 2 and 4 hitters. I guess what you're trying to say is that, yeah, you've got Rengifo hitting second. You wouldn't have scripted that at the start of the year. You've got Franz hitting cleanup, and he's been arguably your MVP. You wouldn't have scripted that at the end of the year, but or at the beginning of the year, rather. Look, I guess I understand your point. At the same time, those aren't bad things. I mean, it's not a bad thing that Ty France has turned out the way it's turned out. It's not a bad thing that Rengifo has shown up and been really, really productive and a good player for you. And, by the way, had that huge home run in Miami that kind of, turned things around in the last week or so. Look, as far as them being buyers, David, it is a good question. And I think it's a good question in this sense. You've got a farm system that is, at least according to evaluators, not all that deep right now. And that is a function of all the guys you've traded away over the course of the past couple of years. That's the cost of doing business when you've operated the way the Padres have. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it is the cost of doing business that you're going to have a thinner farm system, and that's where the Padres are. So to me, there are kind of 3 avenues if you are going to be a buyer. And with where they are in the standings right now, look at, I've said this time and time again over the course of the last couple of weeks. We'll see how it pans out. We'll see what their approach is. But you've got 2 days to the trade deadline. You're sitting a game out of a playoff spot. I just find it very hard to believe that A.J. Preller is not going to try to add to this team. If we know A.J., he's looking at that, a game out of a playoff spot. I mean, wouldn't history tell us he's going to try to add? Now, I think the question is, how do you add if you don't have the prospects to deal with? Well, with AJ, we have learned, and I'm not saying I'm a proponent of it, but with AJ, we have learned he's not afraid to trade anybody, any of these prospects. He went and flipped Leo DeVries last year for Mason Miller. Look, I don't know what's going to happen. I know the Padres love Ethan Salas. I think Ethan has a great chance to be the catcher of this team's future, and my goodness, is that an important position. And if you can get a young catcher that has tons of ability on both sides of the ball, you want to hold on to him for dear life. But we've learned with AJ, he's not afraid to trade these guys. How do I know Ethan Salas isn't getting moved before Monday at 3 p.m.? I don't know. How do I know Cash Mayfield's not getting moved before Monday at 3 p.m.? I don't know that. Do you know that? I don't know that. So never say never. That's one way you can go add, is you say, hey, we'll deal Salas. We'll deal Mayfield. We'll deal Tucker Musgrove. We'll deal any of these guys. AJ has done that time and time again. If you think AJ will not do that, you haven't been paying attention to AJ's tenure. Again, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying that is what it is. So you can move your top prospects. You can also use pieces of your major league roster to add. Now, the caveat to that, if you're looking at, well, hey, you've got some pieces here on expiring deals. Could you strike a deal? I'm just using this as an example. I'm just using it as an example. Could you say to a team, well, you need bullpen help. Here's Adrian Morejon for 2 months, and you get starting pitching back? You could. You could deal from pieces of your major league roster to fill other needs on your roster. Do the Padres want to do that? I don't know. Now, look, this time of year, we heard last year that the Padres didn't have the system to make big trades with. And guess what? They went out and did it. And they figured it out, and they made that Laureano O'Hearn trade that was very much a bulk prospect trade. It wasn't the tippy top of prospects. It was a bulk trade where they traded a bunch of pretty quality guys. Could they have the prospect capital to do that this year? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But if they can, I'm sure it's a possibility. So, David, back to your question, I think you bring up a fascinating point and a fascinating question of if they're going to buy, how are they going to do that? And what is it going to look like? Is it going to be trading an Ethan Salas? Is it going to be basically gutting the rest of your system beyond a guy or two? Is it going to be trading from a strength to then get something back? Here's the only issue I always have when people say, oh, well, you'll trade this guy for this guy, a little bit of sell and buy. You'll take one piece of your major league roster where you can pull from, go get something. Are there a ton of teams that are looking for Adrian Morejon or any of the guys you would move? Are there a ton of teams that are willing to give you a starting pitcher of quality back? Right? I mean, most teams that are in contention, they're not trading their starting pitchers. So it's a fascinating question. Here on July 31st at 10:20 p.m. here on the West Coast, history would tell me the Padres are going to buy. History would tell me A.J. Preller is itching to buy. Will that be the case? I don't know. Could they sell? Sure. Could they totally stand pat? Sure. I don't expect that because, again, history would tell us that's not the way they operate. But if they're going to buy, I think it's an absolutely fascinating proposition of how they go ahead and do that. The other part of it, and there's been mixed reporting on this, is how much payroll are they willing to add? That is a part of this. How much payroll are you willing to take on? That's one way to go make a deal and add, is to take on payroll, and then the prospect's price won't be as high. It's a fascinating question. We're going to find out within the next 48 plus hours what this looks like and how A.J. Preller goes about the 2026 trade deadline. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's going on around the major leagues on this Friday.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Everything has gone finally in the major leagues today. The Yankees beat the Cubs 2-0 in Chicago. Spencer Jones and Amed Rosario hit home runs in that game earlier today at Wrigley Field. Reds beat the Pirates 8-7 in Cincinnati. 3 runs in the 8th inning for Cincinnati in that game to go on and win it. Orioles beat the Phillies 6-4 in Baltimore. Pete Alonso, his 23rd home run of the season in that game for the O's. Blue Jays beat the Cardinals 3-1. Diamondbacks over the Guardians 4-1 in Cleveland. White Sox beat the Rays 6-1 in Tampa Bay. Andrew Benintendi, Miguel Vargas, Munetaka Murakami, Colson Montgomery home runs in that game for Chicago. Marlins beat the Mets 5-2 in New York. Kyle Stowers home run in that game for the Fish. Brewers beat the Nats 6-2 in Atlanta. Astros over the Rangers 11-2 in Houston. Yainer Diaz had 4 hits in that game. Rockies beat the Royals in Colorado 3-1. Brewers and the Angels in Anaheim tonight. Brewers won that game by a final score of 6-2. Jake Bauers, Bryce Terang hit home runs in that game for the Brew Crew. Tigers beat up on the A's 13-1 in Sacramento. Red Sox beat the Dodgers 9-4 in LA. Ceddanne Rafael, a 2-run home run in that game for the Sox. And finally, Twins over the Mariners 5-3 in Seattle. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Friday evening with the Phillies losing and the Padres winning. Padres did pick up a game on Philadelphia in the National League wildcard standings. So the way things look at the end of tonight, Cubs in the first wild card spot. They have a sizable lead on the D-backs, who sit in the second wild card spot. Phillies now a game behind Arizona for the 2 spot. Phillies sitting in the final wild card spot. The Padres a game behind Philly on the outside looking in. Miami a game and a half out. Pirates 2.5 out. Nationals 2.5 out. And the Cardinals 3 out. The Reds are 4.5 out as well. Final score here tonight, Padres 7 and the Giants 0. A memorable swing for Jace Bowen. Let's hear tonight's play of the game.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's play of the game. Presented by Bill Hell Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
Bowen launches one in the air to left field and deep. Ramos is back. He's at the wall looking up. This one gonna go! Jace Bowen's first major league home run. Western Metal. And the Padres add on. It's 4-0.
Ask and you shall receive. Padres looking for more runs. Jace Bowen provided. First big league homer. Padres lead 4-0.
A tremendous moment for Jace Bowen, the first home run of his major league career. I caught up with Jace on the field right after tonight's win.
Jace, your first major league home run, a moment that every little kid dreams about. How would you describe your emotions in that moment?
Just so excited. It's the second best moment of my life for sure, and just to have it happen at home and have all these guys cheering for me, it was the best.
You spent a long time in the minor leagues working to get this kind of opportunity to contribute tonight the way you did. How would you describe what that means to you?
It's something you dream of. I'm so thankful for my wife and my family as a support staff, and they never let me give up. And they just said, hey, just continue to show up and trust in God's plan. And I'm so thankful that God has me here.
The offense was really impressive tonight. The pitching was equally as impressive. You've seen how this pitching staff is sort of stitching it together right now on most nights. Your thoughts on what the pitching staff did tonight?
They've been incredible. They've been really grinding, and shout out to Ruben and Craig for having, just being ready. And to see some guys starting and some guys relieving, and you never know what you're going to get out of us now. And it's awesome because they've been dominant, and they look really good, and I'm super pumped for them.
Jace, this team has won 6 out of their last 7 games. To you, what is this group doing well collectively right now?
I think we're playing together. The vibe's really good in the locker room, and we're working hard. And we want to be the last team standing in October, November, and that's our goal. And we're going to continue to push for it every day.
Jace, congratulations on an amazing moment. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Jace Bowen right after tonight's 7-0 win. The Padres combined for a 2-hit shutout. It was Bradley Rodriguez, Yuki Matsui, and Herman Marquez getting it done as the Padres win this one again by a final score of 7-0 to move 2 games above 500 to 56 and 54. Looking ahead to tomorrow, first pitch tomorrow at 5:40 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 4:40. Starting pitching matchup tomorrow on the mound for the Padres, right-hander Walker Buehler. On the mound for the Giants, right-hander Tyler Mahle will make the starts for the Giants. Again, first pitch tomorrow at 5:40, and our pregame coverage begins at 4:40. Let me make sure I'm saying Tyler's name correctly. It's escaping me right now. Mahle, right. I said Molly, and then I was like, that's not right. It's Mahle. We've seen Tyler before. We've seen Mahle before. Tyler Mahle against Walker Buehler. I knew the moment it came off my lips, it was wrong. Tyler Mahle against Walker Buehler. Our starting pitching matchup tomorrow, 5:40 p.m. first pitch. Our pregame coverage again begins at 4:40. As always, if you missed any portion of our postgame coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the free Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our postgame coverage in video form there as well. A look at the final totals here tonight for the Padres. 7 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left on 8. For the Giants, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They left on 3. Winning pitcher tonight, Yuki Matsui, who improves to 2-1. Losing pitcher, Carson Wisenhunt, who drops to 2-2. And the save goes to German Marquez, his first major league save, a 5-inning save, no less. The second 5-inning save in Padres history, the first since 1969. What an accomplishment for German Marquez here tonight. 2 hours and 33 minutes the game time, and the crowd here tonight at Petco Park. The 43rd sellout of 2026, 44,057. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 5:40 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 4:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Nick Danucci, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Petco Park. Again, the final score here tonight, the San Diego Padres 7 and the San Francisco Giants 0. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.